So students, part 2 of revision of Python basics that you have done in your computer science 11th class is with the topic dynamic typing. Dynamic typing is involved with the knowledge that you should be able to know about data type. Data type is a thing that uniquely identifies the type of data that a variable can store in it. So I have given some examples also here, but we will try to run these examples in idle screen. So for dynamic typing, if I give x equals to 34 and then you want to check the type of x by saying type, it will give integer. Again, if you say x equals to 3.5 and then you try to check type of x, it will giving float. Next time if you say hello, then it will generate type of x to string. So it means whenever you are initializing any different type of value into the same variable, it automatically change the data type of that variable. See, but for 34 type of x becoming int, for 3.5 type of x is becoming float, and for hello type of x is changing to str. So this is called as dynamic typing. Next topic that we will be seeing here, immutable and mutable types. Immutable means in dictionary, immutable means that cannot be changed, and in English dictionary, mutable means that can be changed. So we have seen various objects in class 11 computer science that were list, tuple, dictionary, string, etc. Out of these, some were immutable and some were mutable. So we will see them in further in our next topic. So before going to see about list, string and tuple dictionaries mutability or immutability, we should know about input and output functions that are available in Python. So our first input function is named as input. If I want to use input function, I will say a equals to input, and in input we can give some prompt. Prompt means any message that you want to display on the screen. See, it is asking enter a value, means your computer is asking to enter some value. You have entered 56, so a contains value 56 now. But see, there is a special things. There is a quote, single quote around 56. So it means if you check the type of a, it will generate the type string, because by default input function receives the value receive any value that may you have given in integer, that may you have given in float, that you may have given in string, but computer will receive by default its string type always. You can again check the one more example of it. For example, if you are giving 3.5, then again a is showing 3.5 in single quotes, means the type of a is now also a string. So this was the input function that you can use in your program for asking a value from the user during runtime. Next function you should be able to know, eval. Eval stands for evaluate. So for checking eval function, I am here writing a code a equals to eval, and eval is used with the combination of input enter a value. See, if I give a value 34 here, so a is showing 34, and if you check the type of a, it is giving integer. Again, if you run this code and it is asking again value, if you give 3.5 and you will display, if you display a then it is giving 3.5, means now the type of A is float. In the same way, if you are giving value hello, so this time it is generating an error. Why? Because eval function converts any string type data either into float or into integer. That depends on your input that you have given. If you have given an input which can be converted into integer, then eval converts it into integer. Otherwise, if you have given any value that can be converted into float, eval will convert into float, but not string type value. So next function is print function. Here print function is an output function which is using to display, which is used to display the text or specific message on the screen. So if we want to check the use of print, then we can use it like this. It is displaying the message hello. Whichever message you want to display on the screen, you can write it into print command in inverted commas. Next topic is a detailed use of print command. Print command can be used in various types. So I have mentioned here syntax. Syntax, you know that in big brackets, if you mention anything in big brackets, that means it is optional thing. So I have given 4 examples here. One is alone hello message, second is hello bye, third is hello bye with sep argument, and fourth is with sep argument as well as end argument. So we will see their work in this. So if I want to check the print command use, I will say print hello comma. Now I have given bye with comma. It is printing hello and bye with a space. Okay. Next command I want to use here, print hello bye, and I am here using sep equals to t. So now you have seen the difference. In the previous command, the separator was used as a one space, but now t is used here as a separator. Separator means one character that is displaying in between these two values, hello and bye. So next command is use of end argument. If you say y here, it will print y at the last. So end is used when your print command have done the execution. You can also see one more example for better understanding of sep and end. See, I have made a little code here. If I run this code, it is printing these two messages. So let's check how it is printing this message, these two messages. First, hello is printing, so hello is printed here. Next, you have given here sep u, so your separator will be used here, u, and then the message bye, and you have not given any end in this first statement. So by default, when one enter will be done here, one enter will be used here, and then your cursor is coming to this next line. After then this statement is printing, so hello is printed, and you have said end t, means you have given after printing hello, do not use enter. In place of enter, write t here, so it is writing t here, so enter is not taking place. That's why your next print by command is displaying the message within the same line. So this was the example of explaining by sep and end argument. Our next topic is typecasting. Typecasting means conversion of one type of data into another type of data. So typecasting is done in two types, implicit and explicit. Implicit means that happens automatically. That doesn't involve any user you can say in implicit no involvement of user is there, it automatically happens. But in explicit you should write to say, means you need to write something special in your code to convert it into another type. So I have given here some some example. We will see the example in idle screen. So if I write here a equal to 60.5 and b equals to 50, and you are saying a plus b, then C is printing value 110.5, means by default C automatically having the value float type C. So your computer is converting integer value plus float value into float value, and this is happening implicitly, automatically. But if you want to change one type of data into another by saying this, for example, I have used this example here. So if you write here this one, this is your float type value, and then you are saying that print int of x. Int of x means your computer is converting your float type value into integer and then printing it due to int function. So this is an example of explicit data type conversion, and we have shown here float type value is converted into integer type. So this was the end of part 2. We will see the part 3 in next lesson.